Today we will talk about the philosophy of Marcus Aurelius. Who was this man? He was a Roman emperor in the 2nd century AD, ruling a vast empire, participating in wars, and at the same time remaining a profound thinker. It is his writings, which we now know as the book Meditations, that make him a unique figure. He combined power with philosophy, strength with wisdom. Marcus Aurelius is often called the philosopher on the throne. His diaries were not meant for readers. They were personal reminders to himself on how to remain a virtuous person despite all difficulties. That is why they sound so sincere and relatable to us almost 2,000 years later. At the core of his philosophy is Stoicism. The Stoics taught that our life is divided into two spheres, what we can control and what is beyond our control. Events, the thoughts of others, even our own fate, are not in our power. But the one thing that always depends on us is our own thoughts, our choices, and our actions. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day, it is not events that disturb people, but their judgments about them. In other words, we cannot stop the storm, but we can decide how to respond to it. Another key idea of Marcus Aurelius is the value of virtue. He believed that true freedom does not lie in power or wealth, but in the ability to remain just, wise, courageous, and temperate. These were the qualities he sought to cultivate in himself, even as the most powerful man in the world. He also often wrote about the fleeting nature of life. For him, remembering death was not something tragic. On the contrary, it was a way to appreciate the present moment. Everything passes, you, me, and even the empire. But as long as we live, we can live with dignity. Another important thought of Aurelius, a person is part of a larger whole. He reminded himself that he was born to serve others. Just as a hand is made to work with the body, a person is made to act for the community. This is what makes his philosophy remarkably relevant today. We still ask the same questions. How to remain calm in chaos, how not to give in to anger or fear, how to stay honest even when injustice surrounds us. The answers Marcus Aurelius sought are helpful to us as well. Do not struggle with what is beyond your control. Focus on your own thoughts and actions. Remember that life is short, so do not waste it on the unnecessary. And always act to be of service to others. His words, written almost 2,000 years ago, sound incredibly relevant today. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius can be seen as an example that true strength is not in the sword, but in inner peace and wisdom. And perhaps, thanks to people like him, we understand today that even in a world full of chaos, we can always find harmony within ourselves